In this video, we will demonstrate how the PYQs are repeating in your GATE psychology examination. Previously, we have already told about twin studies, that thing, behavioral genetics thing. The question is getting repeated and repeated and repeated again and again. And in today's video, we will discuss about what? We will discuss about behaviorism and its related topics. So if you have not watched the previous video where we have discussed behavioral genetics, this question about twin studies, adoption studies, family studies has been repeated three times out of four papers. So you must be very through with this particular topic because this might get repeat again in the upcoming examinations. Behavioral genetics, if you do the PYQs thoroughly, you will find it very easily. So this is the question from your GATE 2022 paper. Which of the following is not a behavior therapy technique? So there are number of behavior therapy techniques, and from that, flooding, counter transference, counter conditioning, systematic desensitization. The question is asking about which of the following is not a behavior therapy technique in this: flooding, counter transference, counter conditioning, and systematic desensitization. So now the question is asking about behavior therapy techniques: flooding, counter-transference, counter-conditioning, as well as systematic desensitization. So first of all, you know about this Joseph Wolpe. So this is a behavior therapy technique, yes or no? Yes. Flooding, yes. Counter-transference, no. And counter-conditioning, yes. So what will be the correct answer over here? Which of the following is not a behavior therapy technique? It is counter-transference. Where it is used in psychoanalysis. So if you found that this is from psychoanalysis, this counter transference thing as well as transference thing, and flooding, counter conditioning, and systematic desensitization are somewhat related to what? Related to behavior therapy techniques, right? So this is year 2022, and let's suppose if you have done this question thoroughly, just right now how I did it. And now let's have a look on question number 57 from GATE 2023. Which of the following therapies, again psychotherapy therapy thing is similar, are based on classical conditioning? Now classical conditioning, is it related to behavior therapy? Yes or no? Okay, but the question asking is about classical conditioning over here. So you have four options: systematic desensitization, we just know J. Volpe or Wolpe, how you want to say, aversion therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, and rational emotive behavior therapy. So classical conditioning by IV Pavlov, and if you have read the favorite book, you will get to know this thing. Ivan Pavlov. Systematic desensitization, yes, it is related to classical conditioning. Why? Because what we do over here, by repeated conditioning, what we are doing, we are eliminating the fear. Systematic desensitization. Aversion therapy, is it based on classical conditioning? Yes, it is also based on classical conditioning. But let's think about cognitive behavior therapy. Cognitive behavior therapy by whom? Make sure you comment down below. CBT by whom and REBT by whom? Rational emotive behavior therapy. Who has given these two therapies? Make sure that you comment down below REBT, so that in future you will be careful with these two therapies because it might get repeated in 2025 or 2026 upcoming examination sessions. Okay, so classical conditioning is related to what? Systematic desensitization is related with this, as well as aversion therapy, because classical conditioning is somewhat related to whom? Behaviorism by John Watson. Okay, but cognitive behavior therapy and REBT comes under what? Comes under your cognitive therapies, we can say cognitive therapies, it comes under this. So pretty obvious, systematic desensitization, as we already know, and aversion therapy will be the correct answer over here, option number A and B. This is a MSQ type, so here you will receive 2 marks for this and you will have no negative markings. And just by knowing this about IV Pavlov, you can solve this particular question from 2024 paper again. So this is 2024 paper now, just the recent one, and you can see very easily how easy questions they are asking. theory of learnings are given and the psychologists are given. You just have to simply match. Classical conditioning is by whom? Ivan Pavlov. Instrumental conditioning by B.F. Skinner. Insightful learning by Wolfgang Kohler. And trial and error learning by whom? By E.L. Thorndike. Okay, so this might get repeated again. So now what they will do, they will just explore this thing. They might ask you about the 3 laws by Thorndike. They might ask you about Kohler, that insightful learning, what the experiment was, how he performed. They might ask about B.F. Skinner in future. All right, the therapies and token economies and all that, and Ivan Pavlov they have already asked in this particular paper. Now let's have a look into GATE 2022 paper again. Question number 34. According to Robert Sternberg, they have explicitly mentioned according to Robert Sternberg, street smarts refers to. So who are street smarts? Analytical intelligence, creative intelligence. You can mark the correct answer over here. But now you know that someone is Robert Sternberg and he has told about street smart. So what you will do, you will go and study who is Robert Sternberg. And when you study, go and study who is Robert Sternberg, what he has done, then you can easily pick him up from this particular question. Even if you don't know about all these, who are they? If you know about Robert Sternberg, then you will pretty obvious that you will mark what? You will mark triarchic theory of intelligence, because 2022 paper the question was asked about street smart. So obviously Charles Spearman has never talked about street smart, Arthur Jensen will never talk about it, LL Thurston will not talk about it, and JP Guilford will also not talk about it. So who is going to talk about street smart, practical intelligence, analytical, creative and all that? Robert Sternberg. So how you solve this question? Just by doing the PYQs. So there are number of questions which you can easily access or you can easily understand, you can easily memorize just by doing PYQs again and again n number of times. The more you repeat, the more you memorize, the more it goes to LTM, the more it performs the consolidation in your memory, and then it will be more easy to retrieve. Sounds good? Fair enough. And now what you are going to see might blow your mind. So this is GATE 2022 paper again. Question number 41. Which of the following is a qualitative research design where learned experiences of individuals are examined in their life world? Okay. Phenomenology, ethnography, focused group discussion, grounded theory. As you already know, this is being repeated again and again. This has been repeated again and again. This is being repeated again and again. And this will also eventually get repeated again and again about focus group discussion. So you know about what you know about from this particular topic. Qualitative research design are these 4. Okay. Where learned experiences, whatever we are learning of individuals, of me, of you, of them, are examined in their life world. Okay, so what will be the correct answer over here? It will be obviously phenomenology, because no culture thing is mentioned over here. So we will not mark the ethnography thing, where learned experiences of individuals are examined in their life world. So this is quite subjective, but the correct answer is phenomenology. No ethnography, no focus group discussion, and no grounded theory. If you will find out, grounded theory is being, this is 2022 paper and it gets repeated in 2023. They have given in MSQ type or MCQ type. You can check in the previous papers as well. Okay, so the correct answer is phenomenology. Question number 44 in 2024 paper. Which theory emphasizes individuals? Now the story gets started. Individuals' subjective frame of reference. So if you are little bit, or if you can understand English little bit like me, then you can individual subjective frame of reference. And what can be the definition for this? Learned experiences of individuals. Individual subjective frame of reference can be learned experiences. Yes or no? Might be. Yes, it will be. Not might be. Yes, it will be. And now what should be the correct answer? You don't even need to what? You don't even need to look at the options. You just have to mark and move ahead. You will easily get 1 mark over here, because there is nothing about psychoanalytic. No subjective frame of reference will be talked here. No behaviorist will talk about this, and no dispositional theorist will talk about individual subjective frame of reference. Whom will talk or who will talk? They will talk about the phenomenological thing. Okay, so phenomenological theorist will talk about what? Which theory emphasizes individual subjective frame of reference? So it is what? It is phenomenological theories will emphasize on individual subjective frame of reference. And what is individual subjective frame of reference? Learned experiences of individuals are examined in their life world. I mean, of individuals. This is far enough. Learned experiences of individuals. This is your phenomenology. And this is also what? This is also your subjective frame of reference. Okay. So let's suppose learned experience can be, you have learned experience of what? You have fear of cat. He has fear of dogs. He has fear of grapes. She has fear of reptiles, and so on. So this is individual 1, individual 2, individual 3, individual 4. Okay, and now if someone wants to study design where learned experiences of individuals, these learned experiences of the individuals are examined, are studies, and whom they will do the phenomenological, because subjective frame of reference for reptiles, subjective frame of reference for grapes, subjective frame of reference for dogs, and as well as subjective frame of reference for the cats as well, because he or she might not fear grapes, dogs and cat, but he or she might fear reptiles, as well as same for these three. So are you able to understand what is subjective frame of reference? So you have to be just little alert. Individual subjective frame of reference are the lived experiences, what they have lived. I have fear of reptiles, you have fear of crocodiles, and she has fear of grapes. So these are the lived experiences. No behaviorist will wonder about this, no dispositional theorist, because we are not genetically supposed. Okay, that will take lecture long. And who will talk? Phenomenological will talk about this, and no psychoanalytic will talk about this as well. Okay, and from this, you know, this phenomenology is comes under what? Comes under qualitative research design. So we have two types of, one is qualitative, where we will focus on these things, and we have quantitative, where we will do all the experiment and all that. Okay, so these two designs, qualitative, quantitative, and these are the options in your qualitative research design. So what you need to do is, you need to study what is phenomenology, what is ethnography. This is also called the naturalistic inquiry, and there are many mnemonics for this grounded theory, memoing and all that, so you can study from those books. So that's all for today. I hope you would have got a better idea about how the PYQs are getting repeated, and why you should, not should, why you must, it's mandatory to focus on the PYQs. Do it again and again, chew it slowly and easily and steadily, and make attempts again and again. Do the complete psychology portion once, twice, thrice, and try to finish it as soon as possible. Try to make psychology paper. What you have to do is open 2021 paper, try to give it in half an hour or maybe 1 hour. Okay, and as well as 2022, 2023, so that what will happen eventually, you will speed up your energies and you will be able to solve questions very quickly. Okay, and by the time you will do this, you will be well prepared for the 2025 or 2026 or 2027 attempt whenever you are watching this video. So that's all for now. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, make sure that you subscribe the channel, as we are nearing 100 subscribers on the Telegram as well. So make sure that you join the Telegram channel as well, because we are sharing very not few, very large amount of free study materials over there, which consist of PYQs of your UGC net as well, and GATE psychology is completely free, available on the website. It is very easy, so you can download it from the website as well. Okay, so if you are referring for UGC net PYQs, you can join the Telegram channel for the more upcoming updates. Thank you.